Does your base look like this pile of wooden crap? Yeah, well today I'm going to try to help you guys go from a noob to an alpha. Well, maybe alpha is a little bit of a stretch. But anyways, here, look at this. Oh, you want your base, you want your outer defenses looking like that? Well, just, tune in today and maybe you'll discover some little secrets you didn't know or just little things to help you out in Ark if you're trying to become the alpha on your server. So there are 5 rules that I go by personally. These help me and these will help you too. So have many members in your tribe. If you just have you and a couple of friends, it's not gonna work out. Next thing, you must have a goal each day. Every single day, set a goal and stick to it just to stay on task and get things done. Never procrastinate grinding. So grinding, most important thing in Ark, always just, you gotta do it. You just gotta do it to, advance. And then follow your leader's orders. Super important, self-explanatory. And then while you're all at it, just have some fun. It's a game, Don't take it too seriously. We're all just trying to have some fun here. Just don't take it too seriously. It's not even worth it. But anyways, so I'm gonna be turning your base now into an absolute alpha base or alpha base material. Alright, so first off, you need to find the best location you can find. Obviously, you already know that. But it needs to be near metal because, metal is going to be your main resource that you're going to be needing. And then it also has to be something high up and something there is only one way to get to. So as you can see, this base location, there is one way to get up to the top here, and that's by that one little lane, or that one little, I don't even know what to call it, that one little area. So if you block off that area, land dinos won't be able to get up there, and yeah. So anyways, once you find that location, clear everything out. Get rid of everything so that you have an open space to work with and nobody can hide behind trees while trying to raid your base. So going into phase 1, it's the outer defenses. So starting off here, we're going to go over to the one place that anyone can get in. Any land dinos can get in, like gigas, big dinos, anything that's actually going to hurt your base. So go over to that spot and start just placing. This doesn't have to be metal at first. It can be stone if you want. But if you want to be alpha material, I do suggest you use metal. Metal isn't super hard to get, but if you have a Quetzal, you can get it. But anyways, just start placing pillars alongside, just like this. Make a pathway that looks just like that. You have like a dozen or so gateways, and then all around it there's pillars. And inside those pillars, make bear traps, small bear traps, spikes if you want, just to keep people from just running up. But pretty much the only way big dinos are going to get in is by just going right through this huge mess. You can still get your dinos in because of the gates. You can close them off. And a little trick to actually, help you from getting raided just right through the middle. It's not going to be amazing, but if you are online, it will help out a lot. Place some bear traps in there. Just place a few, They're not that hard to make. These things will stop them. Kind of. Sort of. It'll stop them for a little bit. And if you, as you can see there, they're kind of hidden. But, alright, so the most important part, start placing auto turrets. Place so many auto turrets on this one spot. If this one spot gets compromised, then your base is going to get destroyed. So if you just have this one area, the one place that dinos are actually going to get in through, and you just put turrets all there, and obviously you can hide some generators in the midst of all that. I didn't place any there, but you can figure out where you want to put the generators, somewhere in there. Make sure they're protected. But that's what it's going to look like. Look at that beast. If I come up on that with a couple gigas, and there's just hundreds of turrets shooting at me, and I didn't even put any plants down to slow down the gigas. If you want to put plants, go for it. Put some plants. It'll slow them down even more. And it just looks like a freaking beast pathway to get through. Like, oh my god, it's just intimidating looking at it. But the power that it has with all those turrets all lined up, and it's fairly well to keep the enemies away. But moving on to phase 2 here, we have the turret towers. So turret towers, very important. Obviously you're gonna have to find, before you put up the turret towers, you're gonna have to find where you're gonna make your base. So what I do, I go around with the turret and find where there's no turrets already within that radius. So as you can see, where I just placed that little foundation to put up my base, there were 0 turrets in that area, just because the main spot where all my defenses were was so far away, which is one of the main strategies here. So anyways, go over to all the edges, make sure you put turret towers so that people on birds and flying creatures can't just come over to your base and wipe you, because they don't have, the land dinos or whatever. But, there are a ton of different types of turret towers. If you do want to find some good turret towers, you can check out my video. I have a video on a few turret towers that I use, or you can just check out some, or if you already have yours in mind, go for it. Just use turrets. I just made a quick little turret tower there. It's not the best turret tower, but it'll suffice for the video. But anyways, the point is just get turret towers around those outer edges and try to make your base as big as possible, as much land as possible. By doing this, you can have a lot more turrets there. As you can see, I probably placed down 50 or 60 turrets in that one little space, but since it's so far away from the actual main base, you can place a ton more in the main base. So right here, I'm just making a little just temporary base, I guess, just a little for show base, I guess you can call it. So obviously you don't have to use this is just what I used in the video, but if you want to make your base from noob to alpha, you can look up any of my base designs, use any design here, but the main thing that you need to be keeping in mind is make this base as far away from all the other turrets as possible so that you can have 100 turrets on this main base, along with all those other defenses which are protecting the gigas and everything from getting up to the main portion of the base. So here I just did a little, what I like to call it, I don't even know what, a checkerboard, I guess. So it looks like a checkerboard in the back there where all the turrets won't be able to reach, because if they are being covered by the other ones in front, they won't be able to reach. So what you do, you kind of make it kind of stacked up and it looks super cool. And then what I do around the base, I put these extra layers of protection. These are just, they're not going to help a ton, but it is pretty pretty intimidating. So they will help out a lot, kind of, sort of, in my opinion, they help out a little bit. But what they do is pretty much, they kind of like, how do I explain this? They give the base some room to actually shoot. So instead of a Giga just coming up right next to the base and then placing C4, or just a Stego coming right up next to the base and placing C4, they're gonna have to get through all of these pillars here. So all these pillars, you can put bear traps in the midst of them. That's what I love doing. Bear traps. Stack your base with bear traps. They're amazing. They will stop the enemy and allow the turrets to actually shoot at them freely. But here, just place a ton of pillars, and on these pillars you're gonna put as many turrets as you can. Stack these things with just turrets until you don't have any more. So that is pretty much what I do here. I have like 40 turrets left in the actual placement, and I've just spread all of them out evenly, and I put as many as possible and make sure I can actually shoot from all angles. So, oh my god, I just talked so much. Alright, so actually in back of the base, as you can see, there is a huge unbreakable rock. It's just the generated terrain, so you can't break that, so you're only going to have to defend kind of like 2.5 sides, maybe 3, about 3 sides. So that is an advantage here on this base location. So as you can see, it just looks beastly. Look at this thing. You got like layers upon layers of just turrets. Just, oh gosh, look at that. That's gonna absolutely annihilate anyone who comes near this base. So anyways, I know I did not say what chords these are yet, but on screen now you can see those are the GPS coordinates of actually where the base is, along with just a little map picture to show where the actual base is. If you want to go there, you can. There's plenty of spots just like these, up really high up with only one like entry point. They're on Ragnarok, they're on the center, they're on Island. This base here is actually on the center. I love the center. But you can find base types like these where there's one big spot and then one main entry point on every single map. There's a ton. So anyways, this is this, I'm going over the final base, showcasing it a little bit. So that's what it's going to look like. They're going to have to get through that absolute monstrosity of just pillars, and oh gosh, that is just beastly. Obviously, that is going to take a lot of time to actually get all that metal, but if you want to be alpha standard, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to grind all that out. Obviously, you can use stone at first if you want, but far into the game, definitely, and if there are other people on your server, I'd try to get as many of those as metal as possible. And just coming around the base one more time here, there is the absolute beastly base that I just made. But one more thing that I do want to mention, like I was talking about, the main thing about this base that makes it so good is that most bases, there's the 100 turret limit, right? So they have a base and they have 100 turrets, that's it. What this base does is it allows you to place so many more turrets. As you can see here, you can place even more turrets, and as you walk around the base, you can see that it's kind of like glitching out the automated turret, like max, I guess you could say. It makes it more than you're actually supposed to have, which is absolutely awesome. As long as you space everything out and you make it just so big that the turrets aren't even that close to each other, it's kind of confusing to think about. But anyways, guys, if you did find this helpful and you liked the video, make sure to smash a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.